welcome back to another episode of Rock Talk.
Welcome. Ooh, we got doggy. Yes, sir. Can I help? Doggy. No, I get it. Oh, buddy.
Mama, you gotta get out of the way.
Come on.
You guys get any food?
No.
No, not yet.
You?
No. Do you want us to order some food or anything?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's hungry.
What do you want?
You got like chicken and rice and shit like that. So yeah, that's good work. Dude, he's still standard. Just chicken and rice.
Yeah, that's what
potatoes. It doesn't change.
That'll forever be what I eat.
Yeah.
It's bigger on YouTube, huh?
Yeah.
Everything does.
That dude always, like, all the shit from behind the scenes, you never really see what it's like until you're in that position.
Like, it makes sense.
Before you roll, Ron, you want to say we out here about to do a podcast on Raw Talk?
Yo, what up, everybody? We're out at Bradley Martyn, on the Raw Talk podcast.
Oh yeah. Let's go, baby.
Me and the man himself.
Let's go. Oh, you the
Bradley
man.
Martyn.
You're the fucking man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so I have this is probably to this point one of the most exciting podcasts that I could ever do for so many reasons. You were the guy that when I was 16 years old, I would watch your videos. Like, this is way before the internet, way before social media, way before YouTube, Instagram, all this stuff. I'd watch your videos, and I told you earlier in the gym, I have to admit that I pirated them. I feel bad, but this is the one and only Ronnie Coleman. You are a fucking legend. The things that you've done is amazing on so many levels. But I want to talk to you a little bit about, before we get into a lot more stuff, I want to talk to you a little bit about your childhood. Like, how did you find bodybuilding? How did bodybuilding become your life? Like, I know you played sports. Yeah. I know you played football. When were you like, this is my thing, right?
Oh, that's kind of hard to say. I grew up in a small town, bodybuilding there. We had...
what town was it?
It's Bastrop, Louisiana.
Okay.
Right close to Monroe, Shreveport, those bigger cities.
Yeah.
But we just had football, basketball, track, and powerlifting. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of sports, but nobody did bodybuilding. I started lifting like as a kid, just for fun.
Yeah.
At 12.
Okay.
The reason why I started because when I was a kid growing up, I was real active, always out in the streets, playing, and everywhere I went, every time I would go to the store, go to the supermarket, people would always ask me if I worked out. I'm like, no.
This is before you worked out.
Before I worked out, yeah.
Okay.
This was when I was like 9, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
So after a while, I'm like, man, why did everybody ask me if I worked out?
So were you just you were just already muscular?
I was real muscular as a kid,
No working out?
No working out at all.
Okay.
I was still real muscular, and people could see, because it looked like I worked out all the time, but I didn't. So I'm like, man, I wonder what I would look like if I actually started working out. So I started working out when I was 12 years old, and immediately fell in love with it. I got the weight set, my house. I'm working out every single day, doing curls. I didn't know what I was doing.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just working out, just trying to get, a little muscles on me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I fell in love with it. And by the time I got to junior high, I was playing football. We didn't have. I was on the track team. We had football, basketball, track, and that was it.
Yeah.
The guys at the high school saw me like, man, we want you to join our powerlifting team when you get to high school. So. Cause you real muscular right now. You look like you're kind of strong. I'm like, I'd love to. And as soon as I got to high school, I started out on the powerlifting team.
Right.
And they taught me proper form, how to work out as a powerlifter.
This is at 12.
Yeah, this is at 14.
14, okay.
Yeah. because that's when we started high school back then. So I immediately fell in love with powerlifting right away. Started doing meets. I didn't do real good, because I'm new, and I'm still learning.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I'm having fun, having the time of my life, and like I said, I just fell in love with powerlifting right away, and I worked out every single chance I got.
Yeah. So when you found bodybuilding, I'm curious, what did the people in your life, like your parents, what did they think about you doing bodybuilding?
My mom always supported me in everything I've ever done. When I played college football, she came to every chance she got to come to a game, she was there.
Yeah.
Same thing in high school. And when I started bodybuilding, same thing. Every single chance she got to come to a show, she was there.
Yeah.
And she always supported me 100% in everything I did.
Yeah.
So she loved it.
She loved it.
She loved it. Yeah.
Did anyone ever doubt it? Like, did you ever feel like there was anyone in your family or like in your circle? No one ever doubted
Nobody
you?
ever doubted me. They always gave me 110. My whole family did. My brothers, my sisters, everybody supported me 100%. And they came to all my shows, and the ones that they could.
Yeah.
They didn't get the chance to travel out of town too much, but when they could, they would be there.
Yeah.
So they always supported me.
So when you found bodybuilding and it was like, when did you realize that you could be great at it? Because as we know now, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
8-time, like you've actually, I think you have the most wins ever in the IFBB.
At one time I did, and then Dexter, I think.
He just kept competing forever.
Just kept competing forever.
Yeah.
I didn't find out I could be great at it until I won my first Olympia.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is crazy though. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were training, and you won your first. That's when you realized you could be great at it. When you won your first Olympia.
When I won my first Olympia. A lot of people don't know it though. I worked full time the whole time I was training. Getting ready for the Olympia. My first Olympia I won. I worked all the way up until like 2 or 3 days out before I left to go to the show.
As a police officer.
As a police officer. So,
yeah.
The whole time I'm, doing bodybuilding, I'm just doing it because the guys told me to give me a free membership to the gym.
Yeah.
I didn't start bodybuilding until I was about 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
And the only reason I did it, because I never forget it, like it was yesterday. The first time I went to the gym, he's like, "Man, you a pretty big guy. You ever do any bodybuilding?" I'm like, "No, dude, I ain't never did bodybuilding. I'm not into that."
Prior to that, you were just powerlifting.
Powerlifting. That
So
was it.
your core before bodybuilding was 100% strength.
Yeah, just strength.
Okay.
Yeah, never ever
For years was
thought
what it
about
sounds like.
bodybuilding.
For years.
For years, yeah.
Okay.
Never did any bodybuilding. Never wanted to do any. And I went to this gym probably like the first 3 or 4 days in the gym. He's like, "Man, you need to try this bodybuilding thing." I'm like, "No, dude, I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to, get a good workout in and, go to work," because I always went to work right after I, trained every day. And he kept telling me, "Man, I think you could be Mr. Olympia, world champion." And I'm like, "No, that's okay. I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to, get a workout in and go to work."
And this was at 26 years old.
Yeah, this is like when I first went to the gym. This is my first 3-4 days in the gym. He's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, "No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to bodybuild. I just want to work out and go to work. That's all I want to do. I'm not interested in bodybuilding."
So when did you realize, oh, this is my future. This is the thing that I'm going to go towards. When did you realize that?
I never really thought about it.
You didn't?
I didn't, because I was working full-time in the police department.
Yeah.
Making real good money. I had nice cars. I had Corvettes. And
I remember seeing all this in the videos.
Yeah, nice trucks. I had 2 or 3 vehicles, and I had my own house,
Yeah.
I had a brand new house and everything, and I just never thought about being a professional bodybuilder full-time.
Yeah.
It was just bodybuilding is secondary. Working for the police department is my primary objective.
Right. So when it became full time and you knew that it was like the thing that you were going to do, Did you know that you would be that great? Like that you would have that many titles?
No. I never even thought I could win the Olympia because you know, I was a police officer.
Yeah.
And that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a career with the police department. And I say I was making real good money and things was going real good for me. I had like 2 jobs. Besides working for the police department, I worked at Denny's on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then I would work at this place called Western Warehouse, the boot store.
I was just like, how did you balance all this?
Well, you know, I was always a hustler.
Yeah. I just like, how do you have time to get the meals in?
I just took my food with me. I took my food to work. You know, it only took me about 5-10 minutes to heat it up, and I can eat it right there in the car.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was never an issue, never a problem. There were some days where, you know, I didn't get a lunch break because I was so busy.
Yeah.
So what I would do is when I got a call, you know, I would, like, to do an accident report, it takes about 2 hours. So while I'm filling out my accident report, I'm eating at the same time.
Okay.
So because I can't get a lunch break because I'm so busy at work.
I wonder if people were making jokes like this big guy, like getting his meal in.
See, they didn't see me because I always went home to do my. I was kind of smart in a way. I would work in the area where my house was,
Okay.
so I could always go home.
This is so funny to me.
I would go home
you get the meals
to get my meals in.
Yeah.
I would go home, you know, use the bathroom or take my bathroom break.
Yeah.
I made sure every time I was working for the police department, my house was in the same district that I worked in.
Yeah.
So that made it that much easier for me.
Yeah. What did the other like police officers think that you were? Because you were like you were a jacked bodybuilder.
Well, you know, most of the guys didn't really pay attention to other guys. Everybody was, you know, trying to survive.
I get it.
Everybody's on their own. They're doing their own thing. They're taking care of their families, you know. They're trying to make as much money as they can. So everybody just stuck to their own things, stuck to their own business. You know, they were never really concerned about, you know, what other guys had going on because they were too busy trying to, you know, take care of their families and provide for their families. So they really wasn't concerned with what I was doing.
Yeah. So when did you stop being a police officer and just full-time bodybuild?
Probably after I won my 3rd Mr. Olympia.
So you won 3.
Yeah.
This is so crazy to me because like people listening to this on the internet, watching this now, it's just such a different world now with social media, with like, you know, the fact that people can create their own brands or sell their own products or be sponsored. There's so much money in this industry now that didn't exist and wasn't relevant when you were in your prime and even on your way up. I guess my question in that regard is like, do you think that social media has changed bodybuilding?
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously, yeah. Because you can be a millionaire just from posting on the internet.
Yeah.
You don't have to do bodybuilding or nothing. You can just, you know, do your own thing and make millions of dollars just posting, you know, you working out. Or,
being in shape.
Being in shape.
Talking about it,
teaching people stuff. Making your own stories, you know.
Yeah. Do you think it's changed the competitiveness in bodybuilding?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Guys don't have to be so involved in just being a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Because they got these other things that you can do with social media. You can make money from doing other stuff besides just bodybuilding. Yeah. So back then, you know, when we didn't have social media, so when we competed, you know, everybody was competing, you know, for the money, you know, to make money off bodybuilding. Now they got so many other avenues from social media that you can make money from.
Yeah, and what I found interesting, we talked about this in gym earlier when we were training, was you guys never in that era really got a chance to see each other. So there wasn't like, oh, you know, you could see like, you know, Chris Bumstead could see his competitors coming up now, and these people can see each other because there's so much content being made along the way.
Yep.
You guys are just like completely in the dark, and you saw them that day and you were like, oh shit.
You didn't see your competitor until the day of the show.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, you never knew what anybody was doing, how hard they were training.
Yeah.
Nothing. You didn't know anything about what the other guy was doing.
So I find this so interesting because this dynamic, this concept, like, for example, I did social media from the very beginning of social media, like about 2011. Like, Instagram started at the end of 2010. So like I started October, like, excuse me, not October. It started in October 2010.
Yeah.
I started in like, I don't know what the exact date was, like the next year, 2011. And it had just started, like, Instagram. And so I didn't have examples of like, oh, I can do this on the internet and become a social media person, because there was no one doing that. Like, it wasn't a thing. Like, I guess in a sense kind of pioneered that.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting, like, you and the bodybuilders back then pioneered like bodybuilding in its entirety. But I find it interesting now, in the question I'm trying to get to is, because of there's so much comparison between people.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's changed bodybuilding? Like, it seems like it's like it's a completely different sport almost now. All right, guys, quick interruption. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's a mobile therapy platform where you don't have to go and like talk to someone in person. I've been to therapy tons of times. It's like fucking changed my life drastically. It always helps to have someone to talk to that is like unbiased of your actual like situation that's going on. And now this is a simple way for you to get engaged with a therapist on your own time, at your own accord, so you don't feel like you have to like show up somewhere every day at like fucking 4 p.m. or twice a week at 4 p.m., whatever it is, and you got traffic. It's through the phone, it's through Zoom calls, and join over 2 million people who have used this platform successfully. All right, I invite you guys to check it out. Go to betterhelp.com/rawtalk. You guys get a 10% off your first month with the link right there. Again, that's betterhelp.com/rawtalk. And yeah, let's get back into this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, and just in general, the comparison of, if I saw you on the internet and posting this or doing that, and then I'm trying to do it or copy it, or I gotta, you know, now I'm worried about what you might look like on stage, versus like, what I'm saying is, prior to social media, even when I trained, you just did it. You almost did it because you really, really loved it. And this is something we talked about in the gym. Do you think that people now do stuff just because they see someone else doing it and be successful at it? Or they really, because like,
thought about it, but I think the guys are just doing what they want to do and really not concerned with other guys doing, because you really can't control it. So as far as that aspect goes, I think they're doing it their own way, you know. And
because what I see a lot of guys
concerned about what anybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Because you can't control it, basically.
Yeah.
So doesn't seem, because there's so much other stuff going on now.
Yeah.
The guys are not like 1,000% invested in the bodybuilding.
Yes.
You know, there's so many other avenues. Like, guys are starting their own supplement companies.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the last thing you ever thought of when we were competing. Guys, you know, doing other stuff, like, you know, starting their own T-shirt company.
Yeah.
You know, it's because of social media, you got so many other ways of making money.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be like totally involved in the bodybuilding.
And this is what I'm trying to say. The thing that I think I find so interesting, and for people listening, kids listening who like want to be great at bodybuilding or want to be great at social media, like, I became great because I did it, because I loved it. And there wasn't examples of like, and we're talking about purpose and passion, there wasn't examples of I can make money if I do this, right?
Yeah.
You being a bodybuilder, it wasn't like, oh, I can like look at these other bodybuilders, or you were just doing it because you loved it.
Yeah.
And then you became the ultimate success of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm trying to draw. Like, there's a lot of people now who see stuff on social media and they go, oh, I want to do what that person's doing, or I'm going to kind of copy that person's, like, oh, they did this and then they did this and then they started this company and then I'm going to mimic this. And then the genuineness, like the purposeful, like the passion in it is a little different, because maybe they're doing it just because they saw someone else do it, versus like, this is all I know. Like all I knew was training. All I knew was like what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was posting it, and then it became a thing that like, oh wait, we can make money doing this. Like, because when I started social media, it wasn't like that. When you did bodybuilding, it wasn't like that.
No, not at all.
So what I'm saying is, I think the people who like could be, and this is for people listening, like if you really want to be super successful at something, I think you really have to give a fuck about it beyond just making money.
Yeah.
Because you became a great bodybuilder, a legendary bodybuilder, because you really love that shit.
And enjoy it and look forward to doing it each and every single day.
Yeah.
And that was my, ultimate passion. That was the thing that I look forward to doing each and every single day, every day. Like I was telling you, we was working out. That was my hobby.
Yeah.
So I look forward to just working out and training hard and going heavy each and every single day.
Well, that was something I found crazy. You said it reminds me of me. It's like before I got on the internet, like all I did was, it wasn't to shoot content. It wasn't to, lift girls, do all the crazy stuff that I've done over the time. I literally like would try to lift heavy every day. When you were saying that, I was like, this is so interesting. Cause like, that's exactly how I trained.
Yep.
Not that it was the best correct way to train to like optimize my results if I want to be a powerlifter and see the most progress. Cause I know that I need to take days off, rest days. But like, I found a lot of like similarities. I was like, fuck, that's literally all I ever did was like, I'd go in and try and lift as heavy as possible, no matter what.
No matter what. Each and every single day I trained.
You did that.
That's the way I trained. There was never any like, well, I think I'm gonna go light today.
Yeah.
Because, I've been training heavy for the last 5-6 days in a row.
Yeah.
To me, it was like, I'm gonna see how heavy I can go today, the next day, and the day after that, and each and every single day.
Yeah.
So it was always about how heavy can I go today?
Yeah. You didn't complicate. Like nowadays, it's like,
how much stronger can I get?
Nowadays, you like, there's so much comparison, or there's so many like, oh, try this training method or that training method or this thing. And it's interesting because like you are one of the best bodybuilders, period. And I'm telling you this before in the gym, I don't think there's ever going to be another bodybuilder at your level, size, symmetry, strength combined. And win that many titles. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. And I think it came down to like the fact, like I was saying earlier, that like you really loved it for it.
Yep. And look forward to it each and every single day.
Yeah.
And never had any bad days. Maybe one bad day that I can think of.
One bad day.
When I, didn't feel so good. I didn't get sick a lot. Maybe once or twice during my whole career.
Yeah.
That I might got a stomach bug or something.
Once or twice?
Yeah, and I think that day that I had a bad day, I came down with it while I was in the gym. I'm like, man, stomach is killing me.
But you probably still finished your session.
I finished what I was doing.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm out.
Do you have any regrets, training wise or bodybuilding wise?
Oh no. When you doing something that's your hobby, something that you really and truly enjoy doing, you don't have no regrets. The only regret I had is when I was doing that 800-pound squat. I didn't do 6 reps because I knew I had 6 in me, but I didn't know that until I put it up because that was my first time ever trying it.
Yeah.
If I'd have done it, before that day, I'd have got 6 easy reps on camera, and I would have been fully satisfied. But because I didn't do it, that's the only regret I ever have in the sport. That's the only regret because I knew, and as soon as I put it up, I said to myself, man, that was light. It was light for real, Yeah. And I could have got at least 3 more reps. But because I had 2 in my mind, because I, deadlifted it before.
Right. That's what you were going to do. You thought you were going to do it.
That's what I thought I was going to do. I was like, if I could get 2, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And not thinking, this is going to be light,
Do you have any other PRs that were off camera? Because
the only one I got is the front squat. I tried 6 plates on camera, and I didn't take into account the bounce of the bar.
The whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went down, it was bouncing so much it just bounced right off my chest.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, I know I could have got more than 4, whatever I did. So that next week, I went in there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it nice and slow. and take this bounce away, and I can do more. And I did 10 reps with it.
Yeah, fuck. And that wasn't on camera.
It wasn't on camera. You know, we didn't have all these cell phone cameras and all this stuff back then.
It's so different. It's so different now, man.
Yeah. But that's the only thing that PR that I didn't get on camera.
Yeah.
That I wished I would have got on camera.
Yeah. So with like your injuries, like the back stuff, how many surgeries have you gone through?
13 so far.
Yeah.
I've had 8 back, 3 hip, 2 neck.
Yeah. Do they cause you pain like often?
No, not too often, you know, but my whole career has been painful, you know, but because I'm having so much fun and enjoying myself, you know, I can block it out. I can block it out. And plus I have a real high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Like when I herniated my disc, you know, I told you about it earlier. When I herniated my disc in the gym that time, you know, I finished my training session. You know,
what year was this?
It was 1996. I'll never forget it. I had 6 plates on there, and I normally do 12 reps with 6 plates.
Yeah.
But I took a week off, you know, it was right after the Olympia, and I'm coming up on rep number 8, and I heard a loud pop. It sounded like a gunshot, actually. And as soon as I did it, I dumped the weight because I thought the guy behind me had hit me. I didn't know I herniated my disc, you know.
Yeah.
I turned around like, dude, did you hit me when I was coming up? Because we always hit each other, get each other fired. He's like, no, man, I didn't touch you. I'm like, what was that loud pop? He's like, I don't know, but I heard it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, man, but let me go on to the next exercise. And I didn't, you know, I didn't get 12 with it, but I got almost 8. So I was done with that one. I went and did my leg press. I did some walking lunges, and I did some what did I did? Hamstring. I did my hamstring and quads always together. I finished my workout. I went home and put my uniform on, took a shower, ate, and I was going to work.
Yeah.
And I like, wait a minute, my back's still hurting. Because normally, my back always hurt it, you know, when I did legs, always hurt it.
You get like a back pump.
My whole life, yeah, I've always had back problem. I'm like, man, something's wrong. It ain't supposed to hurt when I'm going to work.
Yeah.
That's when it stopped. Right after I got in the car to go to work, that's when it stopped. This day it didn't.
It stopped.
So I like, something's wrong. So instead of going to work, I went to the hospital, found out I had herniated disc.
And then did you take time off? Did you keep training?
I took time. I took 2 weeks off because I was in so much pain, you know, that I couldn't work out.
Yeah.
But I was getting ready for the Arnold Classic. So after that 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, I can't take no more time off. I just got to deal with this pain.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be all right. And I went back to the gym, and first thing I did was squats.
Yeah.
Because that's how I hurt my back.
So you're like, let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, let me make sure I can still do squats, and if I can still do squats, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And I can still do squats. I just couldn't go to 600. What I could do was 315 for like 15, 20 reps.
You're just doing volume.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll be all right, you know.
Yeah. You just kept training through it.
Slowly, I trained through it. Slowly, I worked my way back up to 6 plates.
That's so crazy.
By the time I, you know, was getting ready to go to the show, I was back up to six plates.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the actual bodybuilding career and like your progress in it. You, I saw a photo of you, and from what I understood, at least on the internet, they're like, oh, this is Ronnie's natural here, right? Yeah. And you looked incredible. You look like a top, like, I would say, classic physique competitor right now would look. And so when did you start taking gear?
I think I was about 30, because I'll never forget it. Flex Wheeler was the one coming up, and he was winning all his shows. And I'm like, man, what is he doing to win all these shows? And you know, I'm gonna go have a talk with him.
Had you won anything prior to that?
I hadn't won anything.
Okay.
And I still was getting like third and fourth.
Okay.
So the top 3 qualified for the Olympia.
We're talking about pros though. Still,
Yeah.
You were still competing in the pro circuit as a natural bodybuilder.
Yeah, but I would make the top 3, so I would get like third and that would qualify me for the Olympics.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, all the other guys are probably on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really care about that though.
Of course, yeah.
But I got tired of not placing higher than third.
Yeah.
And like I said, Flex was winning, so I'm like, I'm gonna go have a talk with him and see what he's doing. So he told me everything he was doing, and he even told me who I could get gear from and everything.
Yeah.
So I went, talked to him, and I finally figured out, what exactly I had to do, and I just did everything he told me.
Yeah. Was it? I'm very curious about this because I could never know. Right? It's like in your shoes. What kind of amounts? Like, what kind of gear were you taking? Was it testosterone? Was it tren? Like what?
Man, it was so long ago. I don't forgot what all he told me. I can't even remember. I remember him saying Winstrol.
So an oral.
He said, what does he tell me? It's been so long ago. I can't remember all what he told me. But I just did whatever he said he was doing.
And then you kept just doing that each show?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the fuck?
But it was like I say, it was median. I won my first show right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't a lot. I wasn't taking a lot. It was just small amounts here and there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Quick interruption. We got another sponsor, Blue Chew. That's right. Blue Chew has sponsored the podcast today. If you guys haven't tried this before, I encourage you to try it. I mean, not every single one of you might need it, but if you need a little extra help in the bedroom, it's incredible. I don't even know how to say this otherwise. It just makes your dick harder, bigger. It's what we all want, right? So fucking run it. So if you could benefit from some extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. If you guys want to check it out, you guys can get for free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. Use promo code RAWTALK at the checkout. Again, promo code RAWTALK will get you free Blue Chew. Literally just pay $5 shipping. You could try it out and see if you like it. And if you like it, then come back and, hard dicks for everyone. You get one, and we all get one. It's amazing. Enjoy yourself.
And whatever he told me he was doing worked for me too.
Yeah, I think genetically, plus, anything would have worked for you.
Yeah, and I was 30 years old at the time because it was 1995 when I won my first show.
Yeah,
that's how I correlate. That's how I remember everything.
Yeah,
I won my first pro show in 1995, the Canada Cup. And it was right after Flex had told me what all he was taking.
So but you remember though they seemed to be moderate amounts.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. It was moderate amounts of stuff. Yeah. It wasn't a lot, I remember it was like maybe 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
And a few pills here and there.
And did you continue that throughout? That was the same thing you always did?
Same thing I always did. That's all I knew.
All eight Olympias that you won.
No. Once I hooked up with Chad Nichols now, I remember he totally changed everything I was doing.
Okay.
He put me in. He probably doubled everything I was doing.
He increased it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I can remember. But it worked. Whatever he told me to do worked every single time.
Yeah.
He increased my cardio. Increased my vitamins. I was taking a lot of vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
He increased that. My food almost double.
Yeah.
Everything pretty much doubled when I got with him.
Yeah, and I heard this from Jay that you were just like an animal when it came to obviously your training structure, but also your food. Like you never missed.
Oh no.
You were just like you had a meal, you had it, you ate it, no matter what.
Yeah.
You finished it, no matter what.
Yeah, everything was structured. Everything was done at the same time, each and every single day.
Is that just your personality? You think?
That's just exactly. That's just the way I was structured back in those days. I did everything according to a certain plan. I did everything according to a certain time of day.
Yeah.
And because I had to come up with something that would work for me because I worked full time.
Yeah.
The police department. So I had to figure out, what time of day I was going to do this, what time of day I was going to do that. and I did everything the same time each and every single day.
Yeah.
Everything was structured to fall at a certain time each and every single day.
Right,
like
right.
when I worked out, the same time. When I had a certain meal, it was the same time each and every single day. Even if I was busy doing something, you know, I may have missed a couple, but I made up for it.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a question on the same line of kind of stuff. What do you think about now? Like a lot of these bodybuilders are dying. Cedric had recently passed away. Like there's, you know, some guys who aren't as in the circuit of bodybuilding, but like Boston Lloyd had recently passed away. Obviously, you know, Rich passed away in the past, but even more like pros are passing away here and there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Everybody's body is different though, you know, so
Yeah.
everybody has their own way of doing things. It's kind of hard. You know, when I was coming up, we had one guy die, and they started drug testing every show.
Yeah.
He died because of diuretics, of course, you know.
Yeah, very hard on the body.
So they start drug testing for diuretics every show, and nobody passed away, nobody died or nothing until they stopped. And I'll never forget when they stopped. They stopped, see, he died in, what year was that? 1995 or 1996, I think.
Who was it? Did he die on
It
stage?
was Benaziza. He died on the European tour. I know I wasn't Mr. Olympia back then, and I think it was either 96 or 97.
Yeah.
Cause and they drug tested every single show after that.
In the IFBB?
In the IFBB.
What? I thought they didn't drug test in the IFBB.
Yeah, they did because one guy died.
Yeah.
And you know, and the vice president wasn't having it back then. He knew what that would do to the sport.
Yeah.
So it was a drug test, and it was a real one.
Yeah.
It wasn't no fake one. You couldn't say, yeah, I took the test, but it wasn't a real test. It was a real test, and if you fail, they took your prize money.
Really?
Yeah. NASA failed. They took his money. That was in 1997.
Were they testing for diuretics specifically? Because they knew that everyone was on gear.
They were testing for diuretics specifically.
Okay, so it wasn't like you're on gear, you can't.
No, it wasn't for any gear, because he didn't die because of that. He died
Right.
because of the diuretics.
Yeah.
And that's what they tested for.
Yeah, the Lasix, Aldactone, that kind of shit.
All that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we couldn't take any diuretics back then
Okay.
until 2001 when Jay failed the test.
And then they stopped. Then they stopped testing.
Yep, because Jay told him he was gonna sue him,
Oh.
and they were like, okay, well, we won't
keep testing.
we won't get.
Oh.
and you get a chance to keep your prize money too. So
Oh shit.
we'll just do away with the testing.
So Jay changed that.
Jay.
Wow.
Jay changed that. Yeah.
Damn.
They didn't test no more after that.
Yeah. So what do you think a bodybuilder would need to like be aware of? Because obviously gear is not the healthiest thing in the world for anyone to be doing, right?
No.
What do you think a bodybuilder would need to be aware of in order to do that in a healthy way? Because obviously, you know,
I was always testing my I did a full, complete blood test
I love this. Yeah.
at least 3 times a year.
I love it.
To test determine my liver function, my kidney function,
Your heart.
my heart,
Yeah.
everything. I did a full blood work every single year, 3 times a year.
Yep.
And it always came back good.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it today.
Of course.
Once I found out, if you do everything the right way, you won't.
Yeah.
You'll stay alive.
Yeah. This is one of the
All
things.
your kidneys, heart, all your major arteries are functioning. You okay?
Yeah, this is one of the things I think is really important to make note and for people to listen and hear is like people really underestimate the value of knowing what's happening in their
Know
body.
what's happening in your body. And my doctor would tell me, man, your blood panel look better than mine. I'm like, Yeah, but I'm taking good care of myself.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, it's amazing. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people, I think nowadays, like people aren't as, I don't know, maybe they're afraid of getting their stuff checked out, or maybe they don't know that they can get their stuff checked out. But there is so much benefit to knowing what's going on, because you can make little changes and you could affect it greatly.
Yep. And then now they got, stuff that can help keep your, heart functioning properly, your liver and your kidney
Specific supplements, all that health stuff.
Specific supplements, yeah.
So when you were taking your supplements, because you told me this in the gym, and I was curious, did you take any like specific supplements like that? I know you said you're taking like the basic, like the vitamin D, and you had a story about that, but like the simple stuff.
They got glutathione.
Back then? Because glutathione, I know it's great for the liver.
I think when it first came out, I think that's when I started taking it. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. And they got a couple of other things that also help.
What were you consistent with in your supplement?
A lot of these TRT places, help with a lot of that stuff. Like like I said, I do a lot of my stuff with Frontline Alternative. They got people that'll come to your house and do these tests for you, so you don't even have to go in to have it done. Yeah. A lot of other things I've done, like they got clinics that do like I have mine done at this clinic in stem cells. Yeah, I go to a clinic in Port Vara called Reganomax. Yeah, they've helped me out a lot. I've been doing that a lot. I'll go there probably about every 3 to 4 months.
This is just for overall well-being.
Overall well-being.
Right.
And it's helped me out tremendously.
Stem cells.
The stem cells, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried a couple of treatments here in the U.S. They were all right.
Yeah.
But once I started going over to Mexico, where they do the real deal, that made a tremendous. I used to be in a whole lot of pain all the time. Once I started going there, my pain levels went down. I started feeling better overall. Yeah, I had a lot more energy, and it helped me to get some of my mobility back also.
That's amazing. It's it's weird. I'm not trying to make this like conspiracy theory, talk about government or anything, but like stem cells could be so cheap, but we don't allow it to be. Yeah. And it's like,
you know why?
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. The fact that you have to go out of country to get something and then have it change your life, essentially.
Exactly.
And we could do that here, but we don't allow it here.
Exactly.
It's a little fucking crazy.
Yeah, you got to go out of the country to get better.
Yeah. It's a strange thing.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing.
And these things work, Yeah.
But no, they work really well.
Big government, everybody want to make all this money,
Yeah, they got to control it.
You got to control it.
So this